Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I thought I would bring you a card today that is very easy, very clean and simple, and just a nice card that you could use for like any occasion. But before we do that, I am actually pulling my computer up so I'll be able to see us in the screen once we get started when I turn the camera. So, but anyway, I just wanted to tell you that tomorrow is the last day, well, February 28th, which will be the day that this shows, is the last day of celebration. So if you wanted anything for that, would be the time to order. And also that on March 1st, we have the new online exclusives that come out, which are different cards and our different stamp set. There's actually a suite out. There's embossing folders, paper, an alphabet set, and then I think there's going to be more stuff that you can see online that you can order. So you might want to check that out. And I think you do know that if you want to become a demonstrator, you might want to do that before the end of February 28th, because you get the extra deal where you can get the mini stamp and emboss machine for $30 or 30 something dollars. It's a big deal. It's a good deal. You get about 50% off. I think it's $34 you get it for. But anyway, you might want to take advantage of that. And you can always go to my online store, which is ritaholmes.stampinup.net, and check all of that out. I would appreciate that. I also would appreciate when you're watching this video to give me a thumbs up. That's the way I get acknowledged for showing videos, is to get the thumbs up in that, or get comments, things like that, shares, subscriptions. So if you please do some of that for me, I would so much appreciate it when you come and see this. I am going to go ahead and get ready and turn my phone down so that we can start our card, because it's not going to take very long. It's a very simple card, and that's why I think you're going to like it, and I want to show it to you. So shut your eyes if you get dizzy, because I'm going to bring my phone up into my holder and scoot that back, because I brought it towards me a minute ago. And there is my card. Very simple, very clean. I can actually bring this down just a little bit so that you can see a little better. This is all of my junk sitting on the side. Don't pay any attention to that. This is the card I'm going to do, but before I show you that, I want to show you the online exclusives that are coming out March 1st, which will be these Irresistible Blooms. It's called the Hello Irresistible Collection if you want the whole collection, which is the bundle of the dies and the stamp set, the papers, and the gems. And these are extra. There's some gilded paper, some embossing folders, and some stamp sets. And this all starts March 1st. And you can see the flyers on the online store. And here are some samples done with it. And I also did some really pretty samples with it. Let me grab those really quick. Of course, I set them on the other side of the table, which is relatively new for me. There's one that I made. Here's another. And the dies punch out all these flowers and the leaves and stuff. Now, I stamped this, but I punched out gold leaves, and these are dies that's in with it. This is some of the papers. So it's really, really pretty. Very pretty. And the papers are 6x6, if you need to know that. And also, when I do my cards, I make up a PDF, and this is it. It is on my Facebook group, Stamp Crazy VIP. I have a file section that has all of my PDFs in it. You are more than welcome to go over there and snag whatever you like, but I didn't in the beginning put pictures, but now I put pictures of everything on there so that you can see that. And anyway, that is over on my Facebook group, Stamp Crazy VIP. So, here is my card. We are going to get started And we're going to start off with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11 that I'm trying to drop on the floor right here. 4 1/4 by 11. And also, I always forget this. Here is my online store and my host code. It says March because we are basically into March, and I went ahead and started my new host code. So if you need a screenshot of that, I would be more than happy for you to order from me, or if you want to become a demonstrator, to let me be your upline. I'm always looking for those two things. Of course, if you already have a demonstrator, then you know you have a demonstrator, and that's good. I'm glad, because we all like to share our Stampin' Up. Okay, our embossing folders. I'm going back to my card now. I'm going to quit all this doing pitches for this and that. Here is the these are the 3 new embossing folders. And they come in for the online exclusives, and they actually are ordered in a set of 3. So here is one of the designs, and I've had people say it looks like flowers, it looks like starfish, looks like little diamonds, just little different things. So there's one of them. Then here's this one, which is just a nice background, and I even like the other side of this one to use it down. I think that's really pretty too. So there's both of those. And then this is called either dots or bubbles. I mean, it's really, they're really raised. And these are all 3, they are 3D embossing folders. So just so that you know that. And I did the dots on this one. And I think I am going to do, because I want it kind of subtle, I think I'm going to try the other one that's not dots. And I don't want to use this that looks kind of flowery because I'm using these flowers. So let's try a different one on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that on, because we're not going to be stamping on it or doing anything like that. So it can go ahead and go on the card. Make sure I got my card opened the right way. I like white on white. I think white on white looks very elegant. And that you can make some really, I got glue on my fingers, imagine that. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to get my little tool out that I like to use, and I'm going to rub that instead of rubbing with my fingers. That just kind of burnishes that onto the card. So there we go. Making sure I don't want any glue on that. So what I used was, we're using this brushed bouquet set, and for the flowers, and I'm going to use this, it's called Something Fancy. For the, I'm going to use the Deepest Sympathy, and it has a set of dies with it, and what I just do with them, I set them over here. And that has these dies that matches that you can use in here. And I am using this little die right here. I've already cut them out. On this sample, I actually used a die out of the set He's All That. But I thought if I want to use a stamp set, I might as well use the dies that go with it, because then you could bundle it. And also, here are the dies for the brush bouquet, which has 6 flowers that are just embossed, and then it has the flowers and leaves that you can cut out. So this is what we're going to use today. Today. So I already did my with Deepest Sympathy, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere that to my card. We can get that out of the way. I did not do my flowers. We do have to do the flowers, so we have to stamp and cut out the flowers and the leaves, because there is something I wanted to show you on those dies in case you're interested in them. There we go. We'll let that dry for a minute. We'll just set that up here with this one. So let's get our paper out and our ink. We are going to use the So Saffron. I wanted to use something that was really actually Let's use a different color. How about that? We'll use something that we can use light. All the other colors we probably, let's use Fresh Freesia. That's kind of a lighter color. Let's use that. Let's see how this one works. Fresh Freesia. Let's just mix it all up. And what I do is I do the inside of my stamp first, and I stamp it full strength, okay? So I'm going to stamp that. And I'm going to stamp 2 because I want 2 flowers. So let's stamp 2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open up my card. And I'm going to stamp this down here also, okay? Because we are going to use 3 flowers. And then I'm going to come in, and I'm going to get this little nasty piece of scrap paper that's been used and used and abused. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp off because I want the same color, but I want it to be lighter. So I'm just stamping off a little bit, and I'm going to bring it and I'm going to line it up. And just to let you know, it does line up pretty good. So I'm going to ink it again. I got that one a little off, I could tell, but it's okay. It is okay. And I'm going to bring this one in and do the same thing. There we go. So there we have flowers. And then we're going to cut those out in just a second. But before we do that, we are going to stamp this leaf in Smoky Slate. I went with gray because I wanted it light. I'm still going to use the gray leaves with this. So I'm just going to stamp 3 leaves because that's what I want, is 3. Okay, we have 3 leaves. And I'm going to go ahead on this card. I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to stamp a leaf right there. And we'll put one on this side right here. Oh, I was out of focus, wasn't I? I wasn't paying attention. So we have our leaves in there. So that's done. We're going to cut these out, and then I'm going to show you with cutting out the embossed leaves what I do to get a deeper look of the embossed, which I did not do on these leaves, so you can barely see it. So that's why I want to show you how I did it the right way. Imagine that. Wrong way and a right way. So let's bring our little embossing machine in. We'll go ahead and bring our dies in. I'm going to sit that right there. I'm going to get my dies. And I do believe this is the one for that one. I get so confused. I got to stand up to do this because I can't see. I'm too short to see. So I'll do that, and I'll do a leaf. Oh, look at me. I put my hand on the wrong side. I'll turn it around for the next one because I feel like I'm going backwards for me. There we go. Okay, we have 2 cut out. Now, let's go ahead and put this in. And I did not get that flower real good, so I will straighten that up when we get to it. Oh, that's wrong. That one's wrong. See, sometimes I have to work with it to get it the right way. There we go. I think it's this way. There we go. Sometimes you just got to wiggle it around. Sheesh. Sometimes you can lay it on there and sometimes you can't, right? It's usually not this hard. And if you use a darker ink, it's much easier. Much, much easier. Then it wants to stick to my finger. What do I do with my other die? There it is. I'm gonna have to fix that die again anyway. Dack, burn it. It's not fun when you have big clumsy fingers to try to die cut sometimes. Hope that I didn't get that too close to the edge. Anyway, I have to trim up both of my flowers. Yeah, it's because I had my ink a little ways off when I did that. But I don't worry about that too much, because if I did, I'd be driving myself crazy all the time. And I don't want to do that. We'll do this last little leaf. Just roll him back out the other way instead of going all the way through. Okay, let me put these up here so I don't lose them. Throw this away. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this leaf right here it's an embossed leaf. You can see the print in that. And I'm going to cut it out of this thick white cardstock. But even with that, it doesn't give a good image. I take another piece of just regular white and put underneath of it. And it gives it just enough that it makes that image just a little bit better. And I'm cutting them out. They're just white. And let me show you what it looks like. It cuts two, but the back one won't have the emboss. Can you see the embossing on it? And this one's barely embossed. And that's how it turns out if you don't use two sheets. So I do use two sheets to do this. I know it's a little bit, if you want to say, wasteful. And if you didn't want that embossing to show, you could still use those leaves and color them with a blending brush. And but I wanted my embossing to be just a little bit more defined in my leaves. So there's my two embossed leaves, and they look fine. And then that is garbage. Okay, we're done embossing. done with that. Whoops. So I'm going to put that out of the way. We don't need it. I'm going to bring in my scrap again, because what I'm going to do with my 2 white leaves, I'm going to bring in my blending brush with my smoky slate, which is a really light gray, and I'm going to ink that up, and I'm just going to bring it and just color these enough to where they'll show up on the white. But I don't want to color them all the way in. And you don't have to get each one of them just alike. Leaves aren't always alike. There we go. And that's all I have to do with those. Now I told you, because well, let me finish this up real quick. Some scissors. And I'm going to cut this stem off because I do not need that stem on here. And it'll just be in the way when I go to glue these down. So I'm going to just go ahead and chop them off. And put my scrap paper away once again. Now I'm going to bring in, because I messed this flower up a little bit, I am going to just take and just get some of that off of there, because I don't really want all that extra white, because then you'll say, well, she didn't get the ink all the way over there. No, I didn't. Shame on me. So I just trimmed those up, and really nobody that doesn't stamp will know the difference. So now let's bring our card in, and what I want to do, now I'm just going to start gluing these together. So I'm going to take my leaves that I just did, and I'm just going to add glue right to the bottom of those leaves, and I'm going to put one going up the side there. Whoa. And then I'll put one, and I want my leaves to look kind of 3D, so I don't want them to be on that all the way glued down. So I'm going to take, doesn't matter which flower, I think I'll take this one, and I'm going to just glue that. I'm going to glue this one. No, I'm going to pop both of them up. That's what I did. And I just put a dimensional in the center of each one of these, and popped them up. So I'm going to take this one and pop right here. And I'll take this one. I like this fresh freesia on here too. That's very pretty. And I'm going to add that one right there. And then I'm going to take these 3 little leaves. And I have this leaf that I kind of got off, so I'm going to trim it up. And I do that instead of having to restamp, and you know, I'm one of those people that like the self-gratification, really quick gratification. And so I'm going to put that right down here in the center. Didn't mean for it to turn around on me and flip, and it did. So I'm just going to stick that right there. I'm going to take another one. I'm just adding a little dot of glue. Now you could add a glue dot if you wanted to save the mess of the glue. And I'm going to see what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that tonight, but I am. And then I'll take the last one. Let's see if we can get this one on without me knocking it all over the place. This might be a goal for me. I'm going to put that one right there. So there we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put some iridescent pearls. And I'm going to put 2 of the bigger ones, 1 in each of the center of the flower. I just think this adds a lot of elegance to the card itself. We'll add a little bit of these. And then, last but not least, we're going to bring in a butterfly. And I think he's going to go about right there. Okay. So there we go. And that's a nice, elegant card. And you can see the 2, how much softer this embossing folder looks than the one with the bubbles. I call it bubbles because they're big and heavy. But can you see that embossing folder? How pretty that looks? And then of course to that one. And it shows you can use any color of flowers. They all work. They're all pretty. And then just stamp a little bit inside your card. And I actually put a little pearl inside on my card. I didn't want to use the big one in there. So when you open the card, that's there. So that is my card. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, here is my host code and my online store that if you would like to order from me, I would appreciate it. On this video, if you would share it, give it a thumbs up, give me a comment, I would most appreciate all of that. So, I will see you again next week sometime. If not before, I don't know that it'll be before. I got a lot going on this week, but you never know. I've been trying to be down here and stamping a lot, so I just might get back down here. You all have a nice day, night, or whatever time it is you're watching this. Be blessed and take care. Bye.